I do not own the rights to this music.
Here locally in the community. Make sure y'all go check out Kneecap Body by Jeremy Smokin'.
All right, it is Kneecap Biting with Smokin'Jeremy B. How's everybody doing tonight?
Pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good.
That being said, we're going to get right into it. I know we got a couple more supposed to be here, but they're evidently running late. But the show must go on, correct?
Yes, sir.
Frank Reich was fired from the Colts by Jim Ursay. Jeff Saturday is now the interim head coach. Colts are expected to name Parks Frazier as the new OC. What are your thoughts, Leonard?
Oh,
that's you. Nope, that ain't you. Who's that pounding?
Was not me.
Oh, it was Big Dan. That was Big Dan. Okay. I was like going, whoa. Sounded like a helicopter going off in here.
What you doing?
Keep your hands above the desk, Dan.
And Keegan Ecker guessed correct. Yes, it's Leonard that has the Stroud name. What is that? What's that noise, Dan?
That ain't me.
It went away when you were muted.
I don't know where it's coming from.
It was weird. It sounded like somebody was using like a jackhammer or something. All right, Leonard, what was your news about? What did you think about that news?
I think that they're in a full-blown tank for a quarterback mode right now.
Yeah. Tank for the next trade for one.
Tank behind Joe Flacco.
All right, Big Dan, what do you think?
I mean, I understand why they did it. You know, he was his team was doing poorly. So I mean, it happens. Like you underperform and you lose your job.
What is that?
I don't know. I'm just in the room with my dog. So.
All right. What do you think about it, Jordan?
What the Colts situation?
Yeah.
Coaching? Originally, I kind of thought, who's the OC they're hiring? I never even heard of that guy before.
That's just somebody that I saw. I think it's probably a friend that knows Jeff Saturday more than likely.
Oh, okay. But on the whole, I was kind of shocked when I seen that Saturday was hired in. I was kind of shocked that Frank Reich was fired because I thought he's done a pretty good job. I mean, obviously the quarterback situation's what it is. I mean, the guy also had Andrew Luck. People forget that the guy had Andrew. He came in a situation where he had Andrew Luck. And then after Andrew Luck retires, he gets Jacoby Brissett, Carson Wentz, Matt Ryan. Every year he's had a new quarterback. And their offensive line's a mess, too. The Colts 3 years ago had maybe the best line in football, and now it looks like one of the worst this year.
Right. Them, the Rams, the Bucks, all of them. They're struggling bad with the O-line along with the Bengals.
Yeah, but the one thing about the Bucks and the Rams is the Rams did lose Whitworth to retirement, and the Bucks have a lot of injuries. The Colts still have everybody on their team. It's just they're not playing well. Like even Quentin Nelson 3 years ago was probably the best offensive lineman in football, and he He doesn't even look good. The center, Ryan Kelly, or I think it's Ryan Kelly, the Kelly boy, he doesn't look good either.
Right.
Kelly.
Now, I do think they lost, what was the left tackle that retired a couple years ago? Blanking his name.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, he was great. But
Yeah, he
I got a
retired.
couple. Yep, I got a couple comments to get to real quick, and then I'll let Shannon go, and then Chris, I'll ask you the question as well. Grandizer says, Big Brother is watching all of you. That is the noise, making sure you are all being good boys. How goes the night, gents? That noise is crazy. And he asked, what's the name of the dog? There, Shannon?
Thor.
Thor, I love it.
Yeah, when Mama leaves, he gets up in my arms. So,
Okay. So what do you think about the news coming out of Indy?
I don't know why they went with Saturday. I could see why they did Saturday with the interim coach, but what the hell? Anyway, like I said, the OC I never heard of, but it must be Jeff Buddy. And, they're, like you said, they're really not out of it, but I think the Titans are going to still win that division. So that's all I got to say about it.
Well, that's probably the truth. That being said, I'm quite sure that it surprised more people than just a few. That was actually coming from your end, there, Jordan.
Do what?
That noise was coming from your end.
I don't hear anything.
I know you don't, but we're hearing something that sounds like tat, 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 tat. There it is.
I can try to restart and come back. I'll try that.
Yeah, please. I'd appreciate it. All right, Chris, what do you think about the news coming out of the Colts about firing the head coach, hiring Jeff Saturday as the interim head coach, and now they're expected to name Parks Frazier as the new offensive coordinator?
I wouldn't fire him right now because it's in the middle of the season. I say let him finish out and then start all over again.
Oh, they already fired him though. I mean, it sucks for him, but
I mean, yeah, that's already happened.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Frank Reich was fired Monday, and Saturday was hired right after.
Yeah.
Oh wow! So they already planned to let him go, but they picked up that fast.
Yep, and my dad says the only thing I know about Jeff Saturday is he was on their Super Bowl team.
Yeah, he was a center for the Colts.
Yep.
Do y'all remember the video where Peyton's fussing at him because Jeff's like, we should have run the ball, and Peyton's like, if y'all go back, just look at the YouTube video where Peyton and Jeff Saturday are getting into it on the sidelines back in the day. It was pretty funny.
I saw it.
My thing is, why didn't the Colts? I wonder why the Colts didn't offer Reggie Wayne that job, because do you guys know he's on the Colts staff?
Really? Yeah, I would have.
Yeah, he's the wide receiver coach right now, right?
Oh,
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, did they both come in? Him and Saturday, were they both drafted around the same time, guys? I can't remember.
Oh, Saturday was there when Marvin Harrison was there.
Okay,
so no.
I'm thinking of Marvin Harrison. That's my bad, Jeremy. That's
Oh, and the tackle I was thinking about earlier, I found his name. Anthony Costanzo is the guy I'm thinking of.
Yep, Anthony Costanzo. Yeah, he retired either last year or the year before, right?
Right.
Yeah, 2 years ago. 2 years ago.
Brian Roy says, hi, guys.
Hey.
That being said, I'm going to take my butt outside because I can't be smoking Jeremy without a cigarette.
I was going to say, Jeff Saturday.
I was going to say, you guys think this is going to help former players get jobs now as head coaches?
Well, there's been a couple of former players and it hasn't worked. Usually you try them out at OC first to see, or DC, to see how they're going to do in those situations, because you want to be able to handle the stress of coaching at the lower ranks before they take over the upper ranks.
True story.
That's just my take on it.
Yeah, well, what's crazy about this hire too is it's not like Jeff Saturday's been in coaching in the NFL before. This is his first time.
Right.
It's not like he was an assistant last year or something, or
he
somewhere.
had football at all since 2020. mid-table team that went 3-7.
All he has been
Yep.
is an analyst for the last, 5-6 years now?
Yeah, he was a high school coach, and his high school team was 3-7.
Right.
He actually Saturday recently, I think he coached at a Christian school down in Georgia. As of recent, I don't think it's anything big, but I'm wondering if this Parks Frazier guy is a guy from that staff down there.
Could
Probably.
be. I'm going to look him up after. I just saw the news and it was in there. And I was like, well, that, all they were talking about is how Parks Frazier is probably the new OC for the interim coach, Jeff Saturday. So it's a headline. So I figured I'd talk about it, but I figured I'd go deeper by talking about the Frank Reich firing on Monday, Jeff Saturday, and the whole picture.
Here's a question. If the Colts, what do the Colts have to do, you think, these last, 8 weeks of the season here? 9 weeks, 8 or 9 weeks? What do the Colts have to do for them to hire Jeff Saturday as their coach for next year? What do you think they got to do?
Oh, they got to win over half those games.
Yes, at
Yep.
least.
If they're going to hire an interim coach, he has to go over 500.
So if you think if they go 5-3 or 6-2, that's enough.
If he goes 4-4 or 5-3 or better, he will probably get the job. If he doesn't get at least 4-4, he won't get it.
Yeah.
Because you're talking about a team that's been way underperforming. They got to get way better on offense to look better.
Well, that's one of the things I think maybe they brought him in too, is because not only obviously he's close with the owner, but I think one of the biggest issues for Indy right now is their offensive line, and maybe they're thinking, okay, Jeff Saturday was the offensive lineman, he was the center for us, maybe he can fix some of those issues.
You see, now, if they were tanking and starting to trade away players prior to the trade deadline, they didn't do that. The only person they traded away, it was kind of an even swap. It was a injury-prone running back for an injury-prone running back and a pick.
Yeah, they gave up Naeem Hines or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, and got Zach Moss, who's virtually the same exact running back, maybe a little better at the running.
I'm about to say he's a better runner.
He's a better runner, but he's about the same in the pass catching. He's either going to catch it or he's not. There is no in between.
Yeah. Hines is definitely – I think Hines is a better receiver, but I think Moss is a better running back.
Leonard, are you commenting in the background there?
No, I am not.
Because somebody said, how about Mixon with the 5 touchdowns? Who day?
Well, you know what? I agree with him, though. How about Joe Mixon?
Yeah.
Were those all rushing touchdowns or
No.
Yeah. One was receiving, 4 rushing.
Receiving, right.
That's still awesome.
Yeah. What is somebody tell me?
When was the last running back to score 5 touchdowns in a game?
You'd probably have to go back a ways. It's been a minute.
I've heard
Al Bundy.
4.
Nope, that was 4.
Yeah, I remember that game. I was there.
That was only 4 at Polk
Oh,
High
yeah.
School.
Yep, at Polk High School, 4 touchdowns in 1 game.
I know Derrick Henry's done a couple times.
What is the Colts record, this guy?
3-5-1.
Yeah, they're 3-5-1. It's awful. They only got 1 more win than the Lions and a tie.
Yeah, their defense is good, but their offense is probably the worst in football.
I'd say their defense is like middle of the NFL in rankings right now. It's not bad. It's not great. It's in the middle. It's good.
Right.
I think it's a top 10 defense. The problem is they're always on the field, so they get tired as the game
Right.
goes on.
If they had a good rushing attack, it would be better.
Well, if they had freaking a passing game, they have no passing game at all.
Well, if they had a line to open holes up for Jonathan Taylor, that might help because I think he's still a really. I mean, you got to think, was it a year and a half ago that he?
Last year, he was the leading rusher.
Yeah, I mean, if Henry stays healthy, he's not. But I mean, but we're not going to go that way. I mean, I'm a Bengals fan, so I'm not going to sit there and be like Henry. Plus, he's an Alabama guy, so I'm not going to say that. But
you guys know who the best.
Oh, I didn't know that you was a Bengals fan. I used to be.
Wait.
Well,
Let's not talk over everybody. Jordan was trying to say something there for a second.
I'm sorry, Jordan. Go ahead. I'm sorry, sir.
I was just gonna say the best running back in the NFL is now Nick Chubb.
Yep.
Big fact.
And ever since Henry got hurt, he has not looked the same. He's had a couple of good plays here and there, but he has not been trucking over people the same way.
No, he's even been caught from behind a couple of times, and you couldn't catch him from behind. But he's had some really good games here lately. But I mean,
All right, and now we can move on to the next bit of NFL news, which was in the list of not ranking things. I got tired of doing the ranking things because that stuff you can find all the time. Steelers running back Jaylen Warren could see more touches for the struggling Pittsburgh offense, according to Tomlin. Does this mean the end of Najae Harris already?
Nope. I think you just got to get his shit together. That's all.
Maybe if Pittsburgh actually had a good offensive line, Najae Harris would be something.
Yes.
And Zaquan, yes, he's still one of the best, but he is not. He's had 500 games in a row, but Chubb is running for like 150 plus for 4 games in a row, and had that almost 201 game already.
And Chubb's running. Chubb's averaging. Do you know what Nick Chubb's averaging yards per carry? Do you want to look that up?
I think it's 5.8.
Yeah, it's like 6 yards a carry. Derrick Henry's never came close to 6 yards a carry.
No, his best year was the year he did 5.2.
I'm wondering if this. Sorry.
Here you go.
Oh, well, I was going to say, I'm wondering if this move is being made to, kind of light a fire under Najae Harris. He's been playing bad. Maybe they're benching him for an unknown to try to, fire him up and get him to motivate him to get his stuff together.
I'm just saying that kid did better than Najae Harris did in the last game, and I think it's a little bit of both. That it's like, hey, straighten up, or we're not going to be keeping you long.
Yeah.
But my thing is, are they really going to trade a first-round pick and that they just drafted last year?
No, not last year. I'm saying it won't be till after next season. I'm saying this is to light a fire under them, get them running right again.
Yeah, but okay, let's say Najae Harris doesn't perform. What are they going to do? Trade him, or are they just going to bench him and say, have a seat?
They're not going to trade him next year. They'll wait till after the third season to trade him, is what I'm getting at.
Right, and then on top of that, to pretty much heat up the competition, I think that they might do a run back committee. Yep. So they might do that to see which one is going to hammer out the best.
Okay, but here's my thing. If you're going to do that, do you think Najae Harris is going to be happy with being a number 2 running back or sharing carries? Because he probably thinks he's a number 1 running back.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. I think if they do that, they're going to have to trade Najae Harris.
Right. They will. I mean, they got to do whatever they got to do to get him going this year, because it hasn't worked so far, is what I'm getting at. He has been consistently on that Benchwarmer Brands reels for Busts Anonymous every week. I can't help it. I love that because he had one good week where I think he had like 18.5 points. But other than that, he's been under 5 points a week.
Yeah.
And that was the week he had the big receiving touchdown from Mitch Trubisky, and then he also rushed for 2 more.
Can we talk about I know not to change subjects, but can we talk about how bad Aaron Rodgers has looked this year?
Who? Oh, shit. Aaron Rodgers.
The highest paid quarterback.
We could talk about the highest paid quarterback in the NFL looks worse than Jared Goff.
Exactly.
Yeah. I love seeing Aaron Rodgers so frustrated that he's throwing childish tantrums down on the sideline.
I want my mama. You ain't got your mama no more.
The best meme I've seen, it was Rodgers getting sacked and throwing the ball up in the air, and it was at Ford Wheel, and he goes, "Fuck it, Kirby Joseph is down there somewhere."
Yeah, like that pass he threw. I mean, I know it was a good play by Hutchinson, but that pass should have been a touchdown. He underthrew that ball by like 7 yards.
Yeah, well, he threw it low too. It almost glanced off a helmet again, which means it more than likely would have been picked off, like the one that glanced off of Comiskey's helmet to Kirby Joseph to start the red zone interception.
Like if Aiden Hutchinson is pass rushing, and then he all of a sudden sees that you're throwing the ball and he's able to get that interception, there's no way that you put that ball on target.
Right, but see, what it was Agent Hutchinson was kind of using his instincts, and he chipped the blocker and dropped into coverage.
Yep.
Yeah, I've seen that Bakhtiari or whatever his name is was going out.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he realized that he was going out for a pass and he was eligible.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, with a win, we're in the wild card hunt because the NFC has been that bad.
Yes.
Have you guys noticed every division is close right now, though, because NFC North, like within a game, everybody's within a game of each other.
Right, except for the NFC North. I do want to get into the next subject. With Miami's and Jets having very similar success at beating Buffalo, did they just give the blueprint for beating the Bills?
Yes, they did.
I posted this on Facebook actually the other day.
Because if you look, do you want to know what it reminded me of? Exactly what we did to the Arizona Cardinals last year. They ran more of a wide 9 technique, which reversed the pocket, so Josh Allen couldn't get outside and make those runs to get the first downs. When you do a reverse pocket collapse, you're basically forcing him to stay in the pocket and not be able to run. And they had excellent gap coverage by their middle linebackers as well as their interior defensive linemen, which didn't allow anything to open up in the middle for Josh Allen to get out of there. And that's why they got pressures. It was all coverage sacks.
Yeah, but one thing that I'm trying to actually say is I've seen one of the pressures by our coach, the man. He basically focusing on what we did with Miami, and that's not the case. I hope that they email or mail that way of that blueprint that we was talking about, so we can have a chance at least keeping a close game with Buffalo, because they gonna be trying to tear our heads off.
Hey, I got a question.
Josh Allen is hurt, but he's still questionable for this week. He has not been put on IR. He hasn't had to have surgery.
Right.
And that was all just hearsay that, oh, God, he got hurt. He's going to have surgery.
No, I think he's just day by day.
Yeah, he is. He's day to day right now.
But I was going to say, do you guys know what Josh Allen's passer rating is when he's targeting Stephon Diggs and without targeting Stephon Diggs this year?
It's over 100 when he's throwing to Diggs, and when it's to anybody else, it's under 70. I think it was 65.8.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
He's a whole different quarterback without Stephon Diggs.
And Diggs went down early in that game, if I remember right.
Well, what happened is Sauce Gardner was able to take him out of the game.
Well,
Sauce Gardner's my defensive rookie of the year right now. Yeah. He looks like a guy that's been playing for 6-7 years in the league.
Interesting fact. The last time through week 9 that there was 4.5 sacks and an interception by a defensive lineman, do you know who it was as a rookie?
Aaron Donald?
Nope.
I don't know.
Ndamukong Suh, who won defensive rookie of the year that year.
Damn, it's been that long. Holy shit.
It's been that long.
It has been that long.
Oh, okay.
Honestly,
I see the comment. That's true. I can go with that. I'm looking at the comment. That's definitely true.
Bills remind me of Tyson. Always playing to get the knockout. Hard to win those close ones if they get in. Yep, absolutely.
Yep.
Bills' problem is, I keep telling these Buffalo guys this, the Bills' problem is when they get to the playoffs, they're too one-dimensional.
Yep.
We got 30 minutes, baby.
They don't ball in Buffalo.
That's what hurts them. You're in freaking Buffalo playing in the cold, and all you can do is throw the ball. You can't win like that. You can't win one way in the NFL all the time.
True story.
I was talking about Ursay earlier. I didn't say hearsay. That being said, the last bit of news I got, it just came out after I set up the show, and I was like, damn it, that'd have been a good one to add, so I added it. Sean McVay announces that Matthew Stafford is entering concussion protocol. Is this a polite way of benching him due to poor play without coming out and saying it? Because the way they paid him, they kind of have to start him.
Hell yeah, it is. It definitely is.
Who's their backup?
Nobody 1 and nobody 2. John
Was it that
Wolford
John?
and then that rookie that they got out of the UDFAs. That's it.
So wait, was the Woodford kid the guy that started a few years ago when Goff was out or whatever?
Yeah, and they brought Goff back in at halftime and they won that game.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. It don't matter who the Rams quarterback is; they got bigger issues.
True story.
All right, you guys talk about this for a minute, and I got to go get my phone so I can do the whole list of games. I'll be right back.
Lions
Okay.
suck.
Lions do.
I beg to differ, buddy.
The record begs
I
to
mean-
differ. They do.
I mean, I'm a Lions fan, and based off our record, yeah, we've been bad this year. We have sucked this year.
That's because of poor coaching. If Dan Campbell actually gets some smarts about him, yeah, we gonna make a big comeback. I'm not gonna let my Kool-Aid go. It tastes too good. I'm not drunk, but I'm gonna keep drinking it.
Here's a question: who's your all's coaches of the year right now?
Nick Sirianni and Brian DeBoer are my top two.
Cricket.
Who'd you say a second?
Brian Daboll.
Giants. And then Robert Salah from the Jets.
See, that's who I was gonna say, Salah or whatever.
Yeah,
We all got
see,
this very similar
I'd say-
records right now.
Yeah, I'd say
That's why
Giants.
that's why I
Giants
say
and Jets
you
go.
kind of
cricket.
You know what the bad part is? You kind of have to add what's his face here for Minnesota too in that mix.
I
Yes.
think Miami's coach as well. What's his name? McDaniel.
Mike McDaniels.
Yeah.
So who's the head coach for the Eagles? I forget.
Next
Next
year,
Sirianni.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Lion King says, Lions, if we blitz Fields, I think we stop them. Not worried about their wide receivers. Chicago O-line. Chicago O-line is not as bad
Lion
as
King.
advertised.
No.
It is not as bad as advertised. Fields is not being sacked a lot, and the only time he gets sacked is when he holds the ball too long.
You didn't bring that up on the show. Justin Fields breaking the quarterback rushing record.
Yeah, I didn't bring
That's
it up
only
yet.
for them. That's not even breaking anything for the NFL. So he's still a nobody until he start doing something spectacular.
The Bears' offense has been playing good though recently, last 3-4 games. It's their defense.
Keegan Eckert says Matthew Padford hasn't done much since being the dummy on the Little Caesars commercial.
Right.
Question, is it too early to talk about who should be front runners for league MVP? One name per each host. Leonard, who do you got?
Ooh. League MVP.
I got mine.
You got to give me a second there. I want to say Dub, but the team's not winning.
I'll tell you mine.
Jalen Hurts.
Okay, Jalen Hurts. Dan?
I would also go with Jalen Hurts. I haven't put too much thought into this because I haven't thought about it yet. But so I'll roll with Hurts.
Jordan?
Patrick Money Mahomes.
Yep.
Eh.
Chris?
I'm going with Hurts along with you guys.
Who do you got, Shannon?
Beforehand, I would have probably said Hurts, and I'd probably stick with Hurts. I'd hate to jump on the bandwagon with everybody else, but I'd say Hurts.
Well, I'll be the different one because he has the exact same record as the Chiefs, Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Josh Allen's completion percentage is dog shit, though.
But the wins are what matters, baby.
Jalen Hurts matters.
That's why Jalen Hurts is standing out right now.
Right.
Yeah.
I think Jalen Hurts is probably leading right now because
You know who has the most touchdown passes in the NFL? Do you know that?
no. Is it Pat Mahomes?
It's Patrick Mahomes without Tyreek Hill. So there you go. There's your MVP.
All right. So we got our first toilet bowl of the week coming on Amazon Prime tomorrow night. It's the Atlanta Falcons versus the Carolina Panthers. Who you got, Leonard?
Wait, who's playing the Panthers?
The Falcons versus the Pampers.
Those guys. Falcons.
Okay. Dan?
Falcons.
Jordan?
I would say Falcons. DJ Moore took his helmet off the last time these teams played, or they would have won. And it's hard to beat a team in the NFL twice, especially in a short period of time. So I'm going to go with the Carolina Panthers.
Chris?
I'm going with me some fried roasted Falcon. Tastes good right now.
All right, Shannon?
Yeah, but wouldn't the Falcons be ahead in the NFC South if they take the win tomorrow, this weekend?
Yes.
No. Yeah, they will take the lead until the Buccaneers play again.
Well, I'll be honest. I'm going to tell you this right now. I know this is a quick take, but since the divorce is finalized and everything, I actually believe the Buccaneers will win the South.
Good one.
But that's just me.
All right. I have taken the Falcons as well because they're starting Baker Mayfield.
Baker's better than P.J. Walker the way he played last week. I'm just saying that.
He had one bad week. You know, I think Steven Willis doesn't know what he's doing. But anyway.
Yeah. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Next game, Seattle versus Tampa Bay in Tampa. Who you got, Shannon?
Tampa Bay.
All right. Chris?
I'm going with them Buccaneers.
Jordan?
Geno Smith.
All right. Dan?
I, too, will take Geno Smith and the Sea Chickens.
Leonard?
Fuck Geno Smith, but I'm still going with the Seahawks.
I'm taking Tampa Bay because, like everybody just said, Brady is playing. The divorce is final. That pressure's off of him. Now he can screw the cheerleaders and whoever else he wants. He's having a good time in Tampa.
Oh, man.
Minnesota at Buffalo. Leonard.
Ooh. They're playing in Buffalo?
They're playing in Buffalo.
I already know the answer to this.
I want to say Buffalo, but if Allen doesn't play, I'm taking Minnesota.
Leonard, you already know. You're going against the odds, buddy.
Big Dan.
You know, I hate saying this. I'm going to take the Vikings as well.
Jordan?
Kirk Cousins.
Ugh. Chris?
I'm going to be the oddball, and I'm going with Buffalo.
Shannon?
I'm going to say you like that. In my best Kirk Cousins voice.
You can't even say it without laughing.
I can't. I'm sorry. I apologize. Might be the drinks that I've had tonight, too.
That might help. Who you taking?
The Vikings.
I went Buffalo as well.
Yeah, it's in Buffalo. It'll be a tough game, but if Allen's not playing, Buffalo's defense is good. But I would still kind of lean towards it because the Vikings have seemed to kind of find ways to win games here lately. So,
interesting note about this game: if Josh Allen doesn't play, it'll be former Vikings quarterback Case Keenum getting the start for Buffalo.
Yeah, exactly.
In Case Keenum, every time he's came in as a backup to be a starter, he wins that game.
That's true too. I forgot about him being the backup. So, But anyway, I'm gonna still go with my Vikings. I mean, not mine, but my uncle's.
Okay, let me get to these comments, and then we'll get on to the next game. Keegan Eckert says Seattle, and Brady is going to break another tablet. He says Bills Mafia, my bad, because he originally said Bills Pride.
Bills Pride.
I say beware of the Bears. We can't get too cocky. I trust me, I ain't, but I'm going to talk about it here in a little bit because we saved the Bears and Lions game for last because that's our team and that's who I talk about. So I always do mine last. We got Broncos country on dead inside versus the Tennessee Titans in Tennessee. Who you got, Shannon?
In Nashville, I'm going to take the Titans.
Chris?
I'm taking those Titans. Tighten up.
Jordan?
Who's starting at quarterback?
Malik Willis.
You never know. They might put Tannehill back in after last week because Malik Willis crumbled under the pressure of trying to come back to win at the end of the game.
Yeah. The
more low scoring this game is, I'm leaning towards Denver, which means Malik Willis is the quarterback. If Tannehill's playing, I'm going Tennessee.
Dan? Big Dan.
What's the matchup? Tennessee and who again?
Denver Broncos at Tennessee. Who's starting for the Broncos? It's Russell.
Okay. All right, I'll take Tennessee.
Leonard?
I'm going with Tennessee.
I took Tennessee as well.
What if Brett Rippon's starting at quarterback? Who you taking?
I'll still take Tennessee because Russell Wilson is dog shit this year.
Exactly. So Brett Rippon starts. Who you taking?
Still Tennessee.
All right, and going to face the Kansas City Chiefs is the Crapsonville Jaguars. Who you got, Leonard? Who you got, Leonard?
Who are they playing?
In Kansas City against the Chiefs.
Ooh, that's a really, really hard choice. Two really amazing teams. But I think I'm going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs by 1.5 million.
Big Dan?
Oh, it's the Chiefs, hands down. Come on now.
Jordan?
Patrick Mahomes.
And Brunson.
Yep. Chris?
Hi. The Chiefs.
Shannon?
Yeah, the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, the Queefs. I like it.
Queefs.
I took the Queefs as well. Next up, we got the Cleveland Dumpster Fire Browns going to face the Miami Dolphins. Who you got, Shannon?
Hell.
Upset alert.
What buy into?
I'm going to tell you the truth, though. I know I'm jumping ahead, but the only team the Browns can be consistent with is Miami. So I'll go with whoever's playing against the Browns or the Clowns.
Oh, okay. So he's got the Fins. Who you got, Chris?
I'm going with them fishes.
Jordan? Who you got, Jordan?
I just told you, upset alert. Cleveland.
Oh, he's taking the Browns. Dan? Big Dan?
Oh, it's Miami.
Leonard?
I'm going with the Browns.
I'm taking Miami. Next up, I'm skipping yours, Leonard, to go to the Aints versus Schittsburg. Who you got, Leonard?
Shit.
I'm going with Pittsburgh.
All right. Big Dan, who you got? The Aints or Schittsburg?
Oh, hell, I'll take Schittsburg.
Jordan?
Fake slider.
Fake slider? Oh, the Aints?
No, the fake slider's Kenny Pickett.
Oh, Kenny Pickett and flick it. Who you got there, Chris?
I'm going against the gray. Because I went to college down that way, so I'm gonna go with the Aints because you still got Sean Payton's spirit there.
All right.
So you really think Andy Dalton's gonna dice up with TJ Watt in there? Okay.
Hey, Andy Dalton got some stuff. Even with the Bengals, look at what he did. Even though he ain't do too hot, but he surprised a lot of people.
Yeah, he did.
It's a beige water pistol.
Okay, let's let Shannon get his pick in.
Yeah, I mean, Dalton got the 5 straight playoff appearances, but he didn't win one because he'd always choke because he was never a big prime time guy. But anyway.
True story. Andy Dalton was Kirk Cousins before Kirk Cousins.
Absolutely. I'm gonna go with the Aints just because I can't pick the Pittsburgh Squealers.
Right.
I can't stand them.
I chose the Aints as well. Then we got the Indianapolis hapless Colts, led by Jeff Saturday as head coach, going in to take on Josh McDaniels that can't coach the Raiders offense. Who you got? Shannon?
Oh, man.
Shannon, who you got? Raiders or Indy?
The Raiders.
Chris?
Oh, that's a tough one. But if it was down to the nitty gritty, I would go with I'll go with the horsies.
You're going to go with the Colts. All right. Jordan?
Did you guys see? I know this is all. Oh, well, it's not really off target, but on October 30th of this year, Jeff Saturday tweeted out saying the Raiders are terrible, like they suck.
Yeah.
That's a funny thing. A week later, he gets hired by the Indianapolis Colts, and his first game is against the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, you know what I think is going to happen.
So I'm going to go with the Las Vegas Raiders in this game.
Yep. Big Dan?
Because they're due for one, I'm taking the Raiders.
Leonard?
The Raiders.
Okay. I took the Raiders as well because they've got more consistency in coaching. There's a big turnover. There's going to be some turmoil. You're going to see some crazy shit. That being said, Keegan Eckert said Finns. Back to an old game. Brian Roy said Vikings. Keegan Eckert says Schittsburg. Zakwa says Raiders. Keegan Eckert says the Fakers too. And Brian Roy said Tennessee and KC, so he's almost caught up now. Let's see. We got the Dallas Cowgirls versus the Green Bay Fudge Packers. Leonard?
Yes. Let's go.
Do we even have to address this game? Everybody knows Dallas is going to drop 50 on them.
That's what I thought. Who's taking the Packers? Raise your hand.
3-7 Packers.
You're taking them?
No, they're going to be 3-7.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I agree. Cowboys are going to win that easily. They got the better defense and the better offense overall. Next up, we got the Arizona Cardinals going on to take possibly the Matthew Stafford-less Rams, which, who knows, maybe they'll play better without him. Who you got, Leonard?
The Cardinals.
Big Dan?
Cardinals.
Jordan?
With a quarterback of that stature, how could you not take the Cardinals?
Colt
I'm
McCoy.
coming for you. If you say the wrong one, I'm coming for you, man. I'm coming for you, man.
If Colt McCoy is the starting quarterback, I'm taking the Cardinals.
There you go. Y'all already know me. Cards.
All right. Shannon?
Yeah, I'll go with the Cards.
I'm taking the Cards as well.
Sweet.
Zakwa says Cowboys easily. And Keegan Eckert said Raiders also released Jonathan Abram, and the Pack picked him up as a safety. Yes, I heard about that. Zakwa says Cards, and Brian Roy says Cards. On to the Sunday night game where the L.A. Chargerless Chargers take on the San Francisco 49ers. Who you got, Shannon?
The Winers.
Who do you got, Chris?
The Whiners.
Jordan?
One of the Bosas.
Oh, the Bosa that's
good
playing.
one,
So you're taking the 49ers.
No, one of them. Whichever one wins.
Well,
Joey's not playing.
the one's on the IR. The one that plays for the Winers is playing.
Oh, okay. The 49ers.
All right. Big Dan?
I'll take the 49ers as well.
Leonard?
I'm pretty sure it said like this. Bang, bang, Niners gang.
Yep, it is said like that. And I went with the Bang Bang Winers gang, too. And now we're up to the Washington Commanders, who may be losing their owner shortly, going to take on the Philadelphia Eagles on Monday Night Football. Who you got, Leonard?
That's a really, really hard game.
Trap game.
Trap game, nothing. I have A.J. Brown with another 3-touchdown game.
The Texans almost did it to him, too.
Packers suck. I'm taking the Eagles all the way, and I fucking hate that freaking cesspool team.
Big Dan.
The Eagles will easily spank the foreskins. Eagles.
All right. Jordan?
Upset. Commanders.
Ooh. Chris?
I think we're gonna send Roger Goodell.
Hey, I'm gonna get my barbecue sauce ready because the Eagles got this one.
Okay.
Hey,
Shannon?
Wait.
Yeah, I go with the Eagles.
I'm going to take the egress too.
Okay, now before.
Did I say egress? I meant Eagles.
Yeah, whatever. Before we move on, can we contact Roger Goodell because I think Jordan needs a drug test tomorrow morning.
Ooh.
What if I'm the only one right?
All right. I'm going to start off with you, Leonard, because this is your team. Houston Texans face the New York Giants. Anybody taking the Texans, raise your hand.
Davis Mills all day.
Davis Mills isn't what to be worried about by there. Davis Mills is a good quarterback, but Dameon Pierce is a goddamn good running back. With that being said, I'm still taking the fucking Giants.
I'm just playing. I'll take Dayball and the Giants.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, I chose the Giants as well. That's why I asked it that way. And then last but not least, we got Detroit versus Chicago. I'm going to start with Shannon.
I'm going to go with the Lions.
Jordan?
When you said the Tulip Bowl, I thought you were meaning this game, but
You're funny.
I'll take the Bears. I think Justin Fields is playing good right now.
Chris?
You already know, one pride all the way through.
Big Dan?
It's in Chicago. Reverse Juju Bears.
He's trying to do reverse psychology. I love it. Leonard?
The Bears.
Does suck.
Whatever.
I you know what? It worked last week. I chose Detroit against the Pack. It worked. I'm choosing Detroit again this week. I hope they play that wide 9 technique.
JB, my man.
I hope they play that wide 9 technique. Like I said, they did against the Eagles. I hope Aaron Glenn pulls that back out because that'll reverse the pocket and not allow Justin Fields to do the RPOs and force him to be a pocket passer.
Absolutely.
Because he throws better on the run than he does out of the pocket.
Or he is right up the damn middle.
And I hope N'Keal Harry has 3 touchdowns so he can get on here next week and say how bad the Lions defense is.
And I hate saying his name, but I got hope in him. I hope Ezzaloni and Rodrigo tear him up in the middle.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a shootout. Keegan Eckert says, Bears don't have a good defense, but their offense will be a problem. I project a shootout. Keegan Eckert says Detroit. Lion King says, would you guys believe because of a bye in fantasy, I got Jared Goff this week? Well, I've got Jared Goff in mind because I don't trust Trevor Lawrence. But anyways, that being said, if they run that wide 9 like we did against Arizona, it's going to give Justin Fields fits because it doesn't allow him to run outside the tackles where he completes over 70% of his passes.
True story.
Because that's what they did to force Kyler Murray to be a pocket passer, and he wasn't ready for it.
I wish we could have got that same formation off with Jalen Hurts when we started the season.
I thought we'd do that. I said that was one of my keys to the games.
Absolutely.
Stopping them. Because then you have your fast, athletic outside linebackers rushing around the tight ends while the defensive interior take up the blocks in the middle. Then the middle linebackers come into blitz as well.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, I said, granted, Kyler Murray's only 5'3".
Well, yeah, but he's listed as 5'8".
That's why he can't see in the pocket, because he can't see over his lineman. That's why him and Russell Wilson.
The best short reel I saw this year was somebody had one of those really fast remote control cars and running it on an expressway faster than the people doing 70 miles an hour. And they said, "Look,
Damn.
It's Kyler Murray taking home his bag after signing his contract."
Wow.
I thought that was great. And because of Kyler Murray, it is the exact same reason why I do not want Bryce Young. Because he isn't much taller than Bryce Young. Zeke was laughing his ass off.
Bryce Young's problem too is he's only 190 pounds.
Right. At that short, and like Kyler Murray has him by 10 pounds.
At least.
I think he's 205, isn't he?
Yeah, like 207, something like that.
That man some goddamn respect. Kyler Murray's a beast for a 2-year-old.
Oh man.
That being said, Lion King asked about Kirby Joseph. Kirby Joseph was back in limited practice, which means he passed the first test, the concussion protocol, was able to come back to practice, but he had to have a red shirt on for no contact until he passes the second set.
That's what they did with St. Brown.
Mm-hmm.
I got a question. When is Jameson Williams coming back?
Jameson Williams was put on the PUP list the week we started to face Dallas, which means his return is slated to be Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Okay.
Perfect time to break him out, especially if Tre'Davious White's still out.
Is Swift playing Sunday?
Yes.
Hey, anybody has some bison meat? Probably not.
I've had bison.
Either.
I've had bison before. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's real good.
Oh shoot!
That
means we got a chance. I've never had it, but I want to try it.
There's a little place up there in Oscoda that sells all different types of jerky. I've actually had lion jerky, gator jerky, buffalo jerky, elk jerky, bear jerky. I need to go get some bear jerky Saturday so I can sit at the house and watch the game.
That'd be a good one.
Good combo. Good combo. That's some good eating right there.
Aaron Glenn prefers not to spy because it takes somebody out of the blitz packages and also out of coverage. So I think the wide 9 is the right technique to use if you're not going to spy.
10-4.
My water pickles. What, my pickle waters? That being said, this has been a great show. I've had a blast, guys. Thank you to all of my guests. I got to go and give word to my sponsors as soon as I get up to where I can put up their overlays. I'm running behind. A1 Tire and Auto Repair, 3 locations to serve you. In Coquitlam on Old Coquitlam, in Bay City on Broadway, and where I work in Saginaw on Genesee. Come see us if you want great used tires at a great price, and we have great prices on new tires as well. Stop on in. In Mad Lab Custom Creations, Dan Leonard does an excellent job. He had to be sidelined on doing any custom work for a few days, but that might not stop him from doing breaks, right, Leonard?
That is correct, sir.
So go over to his page on Facebook if you want to start your personal collection. He deals in hockey and football helmets, correct?
Yep, and baseball if anybody actually wants them.
Rodrigo he may play as well. I haven't heard yay or nay yet, but he wasn't listed as the did not participate, so I like that. My dad comes in and says, "Great show, guys." Thanks, Dad. Always love it when you pop on. And I want to say thank you to each and every one of my guests. And Dan Leonard, what is your final thought of the night?
Fuck Geno Smith.
I thought so. Big Dan, what's yours?
Even though I picked against them, still go Lions.
Jordan?
Fuck all your all's teams.
That's my guy. Chris?
Well, my last thoughts is I'm about to get my Lion barbecue grill out in the winter in 4 feet of snow, and I'm about to give me some barbecue, whatever that comes to us.
All right, I like it. Shannon?
My Bengals are 5-4 for the second straight year in a row, so I'm expecting same outcome, at least preferably 11-5 instead, or 11-6 instead of 10-7, in a wild card berth.
My final thoughts was it was great to see Karen Rogers crying all day last Sunday. It also to try every day to be a better person than you were the day before, because that's the only way to make the world a better place. Thank you for watching Kneecap Biting with Smokin'Jeremy B's NFL Roundtable Talks. Thank you to all of my guests, Dan Leonard, Big Dan Davis, Jordan, G-Dub, Patriots Media, Christopher Smith, and Shannon G. You guys have been great. It's been a blast, and thank you for being on, and thank you for watching, viewers.